Coming out of high school, Harrison West was the #1 rated safety in the nation, and he would later commit to the Oregon Ducks. But in his sophomore season, the coach would later transition him to a middle linebacker where he would exceed and also carry his team to the college football championship. Harrison West and the Oregon Ducks would win a college football championship, but in the offseason, West would make a huge transfer as he would join the team he just took out to hopefully lead them to their first championship in a while as well. After barely falling out the top 5 as a Heisman candidate last year, Harrison West truly believed on the Ohio State defense he had a much better chance of achieving his goal. Heading into the first game of the season, Ohio State was currently ranked #2 with his former team Oregon not to be found in the top 10. But heading into week 1, we would be playing the Buffalo Bulls, who we knew we couldn't take for granted, and we had to show out in our first game as a Buckeye. Coming into the game, we had the expectations to be the best defensive player in the nation, and we would show that on the first play of the season, hit sticking the running back, and Harrison West is hype. Later in that same drive, on a 3rd and 3, we would leave our zone to go blitz the quarterback and come up with our first sack of the season, and Harrison West and this defense is already going off. Looking to continue to be a problem for this Buffalo offense, we're going to undercut this hitch route and get our first interception of the season, and Harrison West's presence is being felt. Backing all of the stat sheets, we are going to go for our second sack of the game on the quarterback as he looks to scramble right here. We are flying to the ball on every single play, but luckily they pick up the first down here. Looking like a heat-seeking missile here, Harrison West would destroy the quarterback on this hit stick, looking like one of the hardest hitting players in the nation, and he would do so on the next play as he destroys the running back as well. Being a safety his entire life, Harrison West always exceeded in the passing game as a linebacker, and we would get our second interception of the game, where we only had 3 in the entire season as a sophomore at Oregon. We now have 2 in our first game of the season, and this will be our first pick 6 ever in college football. Having his best game ever as a college athlete, Harrison West knew going to Ohio State was the right move as it would open up his capabilities and potential as a middle linebacker. On the next play, Harrison West would undercut this slant and it would almost lead to his 3rd interception, which would have tied his whole entire season's worth in the last year. But that wouldn't matter because Harrison West would have another chance to get his 3rd interception of the game, and he would do so on the very next play where he would be able to take it all the way for his second pick 6 in one game, and Harrison West is looking like the best player on defense in the nation. Ohio State would go on to win 35-0 against the Bulls in the first game, but we would end up with our best game as a college athlete with 11 tackles, 3 of those for a loss, and 2 sacks and 3 interceptions. After an amazing week 1, Harrison West would find himself on the Heisman watch, ranked in the top 5 already. Harrison West would look to stuff the stat sheet in week 2 as well as he plays the San Diego State Aztecs, and this looks like to be a game Ohio State should roll. Harrison West would look to start off hot in this game as he would already get a tackle for loss on the first play of the game. After a full year's experience in his sophomore season as a middle linebacker, Harrison West has gotten a lot better in the run game as we stuff this jet sweep and then destroy the running back on this trap up the middle. After beating Buffalo 35-0, we still haven't allowed a touchdown the entire season until the Aztecs quarterback hits a corner out on the left side of the field. Despite the late first half touchdown, the Aztecs offense couldn't do much in the second half as we would force another fumble right here to put more salt in the wound. After forcing a fumble and going up 3 possessions, we would coast to an easy victory. We would have a more quiet game this week, but still pretty good with 1 forced fumble here. Despite having a slower game in week 2, Harrison West would actually go up in the rankings in the Heisman watch, and he has a true chance of winning this thing. In our 3rd game of the season, we would be taking on Cal, where we wouldn't even get our first tackle of the game until deep in the 2nd quarter, and our second tackle wouldn't even come until halfway through the 3rd quarter. We're not stuffing the stat sheet like we always do, but Harrison West is still locked in as he would hit stick the running back and force a fumble while doing a backflip, and nobody else in the nation could do it besides Harrison West. Ohio State would go on to win the game, and we are now undefeated and 3-0 on the season. Harrison West would only end with 4 total tackles, but he still had that big fumble to turn the game at the end. Our week 1 performance is still carrying us in the Heisman watch as we would still be ranked inside the top 5, but we did get downgraded to that number 5 spot. In our next game of the season, we would be taking on a smaller FCS school where we would like to rebound and stuff the stat sheet and hopefully turn things around. We would jump out to an easy 14-point lead, and Harrison West would want to show off his play recognition as he jumps a running back screen for a negative 4-yard loss and also gets a tackle for loss on a halfback sweep, and he is showing a dominant performance here. Ohio State dominated this game, already up 35-0 in the 3rd quarter. Harrison West wouldn't get as much playing time as he normally would, as he would finish with 6 tackles and 2 of those being for a loss. With a couple mediocre performances after the big week 1 game, it looks like Harrison West would fall outside the top 5, but that is not going to chase him away from his goal of winning another national championship. Ohio State would take on their first ranked opponent of the season. We would be playing the number 13 ranked Wisconsin Badgers. Now playing with a chip on his shoulder, Harrison West wanted to start off this game hot as he would destroy the running back and prove why he is still one of the best defenders in the nation. Harrison West wanted to lock in this game as we were playing one of the better opponents on our schedule, so we knew we had to try a little bit harder, and everybody on the Ohio State defense brought it as we get another sack to force a punt. Harrison West is proving himself to be one of the best run stoppers in the league as well, and Ohio State's defense all stepped up this game as we would get an interception on this play as well to force another turnover. Our offense was a little slow today, so we had to continue dominating on the defensive side of the ball as we would hit stick the running back for the third time this game, and we would juke out the right tackle and get our first sack of the game as well. Harrison West was moving all around the field like Micah Parsons this game, blitzing the quarterback, dropping in coverage, and he was having himself one of the best pass rushing games of his career. Looking to get another stop before the half, Harrison West would sniff out this outside run and destroy the running back once again in this game, and Harrison West is looking like his old self from week 1. Trying to put the dagger in the game late in the third quarter on a 4th and 4, Harrison West would destroy the wide receiver, but he would barely get the ball across to achieve the first down. Harrison West was hit sticking everybody this game as he would find the tight end as well and destroy him, and then later on a 4th and 4 to hopefully clutch the game out for Wisconsin, the wide receiver will drop the ball and Ohio State would win. Harrison West would have a great bounce back game against a ranked opponent, having himself 10 tackles, 2 for a loss, and even a sack in this game. After our game against Wisconsin, we would move up to number 2 as Alabama would also lose in the same exact week, and now we are on the race for that college football playoffs. Now sitting in a position where we can reach the playoffs, Harrison West had to continue to keep on eating and carrying this defense to be one of the best in the nation, and he would do so in the next game against Northwestern. Already in our red zone, Northwestern needs to convert on this 4th and 1, and they would do so on this short pass as we were late to our read, but luckily we would hold them to only 3 points on the opening drive here. Our defense is known for not letting any points up in the first drive of the game, so Harrison West is trying to stifle up the defense here on the second one as we would undercut this angle route and get our 5th interception of the season, making that 2 more than we had in a full season last year at Oregon. We would continue to dominate in the passing game. Being a former safety has helped us a lot with our timing, and also putting on weight has helped a lot with the hit sticks, and the running back would try to catch one right here, and our timing was just impeccable once again. A lot of film work went off in the offseason as we were always ready for these hit sticks after the catch, and also dominating when it came to screen plays like this. We always sniffed it out behind the line of scrimmage, and Harrison West would have one of his best games of the season, ending with 10 tackles and an interception here. Harrison West would be leading the entire NCAA in interceptions and tackles, but would still find himself outside of the top 5 Heisman watch. Fast forwarding to our last game of the season, we are currently sitting as the #1 ranked team in the nation, but we would be taking on our biggest competition of the season and our biggest rival, the Michigan Wolverines. In the film room, we knew our biggest worry would have to be stopping Blake Corum, as we would do so on the first 2 plays of the game, holding him to only 2 total yards. After losing the previous 2 years to Michigan, Ohio State's entire defense was hungry to get this win as we would dominate on the first drive and force an early punt. On the next drive, after scoring 7 points, we are looking to stop Blake Corum once again, and we would hold them down to a 3rd and 5 where they would settle for a halfback draw. We have this offense scared. We would continue to dominate on defense as JJ McCarthy would try to scramble out, and we would get our first sack of the game right here, and Harrison West is ready for this big matchup. Looking for our 3rd stop of the game, JJ McCarthy would dump it down, and we would hold him before the first down, and we would force another punt. Looking to hold a shutout on Michigan in the first half, we are going to get a sack on JJ McCarthy with only 15 seconds left in the second quarter. Dominating this matchup 21-3, and also about to head into the 4th quarter, Harrison West was not done yet as he would lay another lethal hit stick across the middle. Harrison West was feeling himself this game as Blake Corum would go out the backfield. We would barely miss the interception, getting a little too greedy, but luckily would make the tackle. On a 3rd and 1 in the 4th quarter, we were looking to stop Blake Corum right here, and on the next play, we would get a sack on JJ McCarthy, and that would be the dagger in our rivals right there. There's no better feeling than keeping the undefeated season alive, especially dominating a division rival as well, ending with one of our best games of the season with 4 tackles for losses and 3 total sacks. Harrison West would win his 6th Big Ten Player of the Week award on defense, while also moving on to the Big Ten Championship, where we would be taking on a rematch against the Wisconsin Badgers. In order to make it to the College Football Championship, we're going to have to win this game, and we have a free ticket all the way as we would start off with a big hit stick. Wisconsin's passing offense was on fire as we could not stop a nosebleed right now, and on a 4th and 7, we would blitz the quarterback and get all the way, but he would throw a dot to his tight end to pick up the first down. Looking to blitz the quarterback again on a 3rd and 12, we would hit him as he throws, but he would throw another missile, and this would be the first touchdown we would let up on the opening drive all season long. Our coach would continue to send us on blitzes on the next drive after our offense would fail to score, and they just kept on dotting us up, and we could not stop anything right now. With another blitz at the quarterback, we would hit him again as he throws, but he would throw another dot to the left side of the field, and this dude dude is unstoppable right now. We need everything we can get against this red hot offense, and on a 3rd and 8, we would hit stick him right before the first down marker, and we would end up holding them to 3, but still down 10. We need our offense to come snap it around. It is now the 3rd quarter, and our offense would turn the ball over and give Wisconsin great field position, and we are in an awful situation right now. With our season on the line, trying to make the college football championship, we need to hold them out the end zone, but the quarterback and the offense would stay red hot, and we did not stop them, and they would go up 17-0 in the 3rd quarter. We would go on to have our worst game of the season, getting blown out by the Wisconsin Badgers as they get their revenge on us. Despite a huge loss and missing out on the college football championship, we would win ourselves 3 different individual awards, and this was still a great season in Harrison West's book. If you made it to this far in the video, make sure to hit that like and hit that subscribe button. We have way more RTGs on the way.